Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. It's June 26, 2026. It's hard to believe the year is almost half over. Oop. Note, this event will be recorded and will be uploaded to the Career USA YouTube channel for others to view in the future. By participating in this event, you give consent for your name and picture to appear. Please note that any comments you put in the Zoom chat window do not appear in the recording. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Jeff Morris. Back in 2007, I took over facilitating and leading the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. This group's been around since the late 1990s. In 2008, I started a website called careerdfw.org, a website to help those unemployed in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. In 2012, I launched careerusa.org to help those around the United States. I have written a book called What I've Learned About Your Job Search That You May Not Know. It is available on Amazon. If you see me in person, I have copies with me. And since 2017, I've been a member of the practice interview team, and you'll hear more about them in just a few minutes. Our agenda this morning will start with success stories. We'll then go to 30-second introductions. We'll do those, everybody who's here in the room, and then we'll go to everybody who's online. We'll then go to job leads if we have any recruiters with us. And then we'll hear from the interview success workshop, the practice interview team, and the career tip of the week. And then we'll have our main event about the top of the hour. Well, we'd like to start the meeting off with good news. We have donuts. Amy, you want to come up and tell us your story again? Hey, Amy told us her story last week online, but we'll do it again. Yeah, you have to flip it on.
Hello. Okay. Amy Wilson. So yes, I landed. My official title is Digital Delivery Lead, Software Engineering Manager. That's what I've done, and that's what it is. So anyway, um, yeah, I feel like I have to interpret the title. I don't know why, but anyway, at Brown and Brown, so it's an insurance company. I'd never heard of them before. Um, they reached out to me. Actually, the hiring manager found me on LinkedIn because of my little banner that said open to work. He said he reached out to like 2 or 3 people, and I was the only one that responded. So respond to those messages on LinkedIn. That's what I would say. That would be my tip. So yeah, anything else? One thing. So another thing I did, besides I optimized my LinkedIn profile. I think that's what probably maybe drew him in also. But I did Walt's interview class, which was awesome, and it really helped me kind of reset on interview. I mean, I've done interviews before, but he really was great in helping with the interview stuff. So,
how long was the process for him reaching out?
it was I think just a couple of maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Like it felt like it went really fast because I had another company I was interviewing with, and that spanned longer. That was actually my top choice, but they were just taking much longer, and I hated to let go of an offer. So I picked the offer. But anyway, yeah.
Well, Amy, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the donuts. Oh, she starts on Monday. Okay. She starts this in time to have a holiday on Friday. All right. Anybody else? Any other good news to share? All right. What I'd like for everybody who's online right now, if you will, open up your chat window and put in your name, the position you're looking for. Give us 2 or 3 target companies that we may be able to help you with. Give us your email, your LinkedIn address if you'd like, the phone, and your city. And then if you have companies that you have connections, please let us know who those are because maybe you can help somebody else who's on the call. So we'll put 30 seconds on the clock to get started. If you're typing, please continue typing, get your information in there. That way you can help. We'll get all that information out to everybody tomorrow when I put out the chat window. All right. It's time for the introductions for those people here in the room. So if you will, come on down, grab the mic, and we'll do everybody's introductions. Well, don't go that high.
Hey, good morning. My name is Todd Haney. I'm looking for roles in customer success, customer experience, and communications. I need contacts at Simpson Strong Tire, Field Pulse, and FlowServe. I have contacts through my association with the Association for Talent Development. I'm on the board of the Dallas chapter. So if you're in talent development or learning development, I may be able to help. My name is Todd Haney. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Alejandra Duran. I'm looking for roles in internal audit, specifically financial internal audit. I'm looking for contacts at Boeing and Safran, and I have contacts at FlowServe and at RealPage. My name is Alejandra Duran.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi, my name is Chad Jackson. I'm looking for a VP or director software engineering role. I need contacts at Topgolf, or Capital One or Toyota. I have contacts in the defense industry, mainly with Rockwell Collins. My name's Chad Jackson.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jason Rice. I'm looking for contacts at mostly Lockheed Martin, software engineering manager, mostly visual and real-time user interface. I have some contacts also in defense and a little bit in petroleum. So reach out. Jason Rice, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Am I looking here?
Yep.
Hi, everybody. I'm Larry Goldsticker. I'm a retired software sales executive. I'm on the leadership team at SFG, a panelist at Pit Crew. I'm actually here today to see the accountability presentation. Find me on LinkedIn. I'm the only Larry Goldsticker there is.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm David Turner. I'm a senior HR systems analyst with deep expertise in SuccessFactors security. I make sure the right people and only the right people have access to employee data. I don't need any contacts this week. I can possibly help with contacts at PepsiCo. My name is David Turner.
Great. Anyone else? Thank you very much.
Hey,
All
Jeff.
right. Let's
Hey, Jeff.
go to those people who are online right now. If you will, open up the little bar at the bottom, raise your hand so I know to call on you. And Steve, I'll let you go first.
Okay, my name is Steve Rowan. I'm a retired .NET developer. I've got contacts at Fiserv and the VA. My name is Steve Rowan, R-O-W-A-N.
Thank you, Steve. Let's see here. Give me just a second here. Get that out of here. Rachel.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Rachel Barish. I'm in New Jersey. I'm a career coach. Previously, I've worked with people with disabilities. I'm looking to pivot to work in a college or university. I'm also here to help. Reach out to me and I'll help. I can see if I can help you in any way. Rachel Barish.
Thank you, Rachel. Daniel.
Hello, I'm Daniel Reisinger. I am an aerospace welder and integration technician. I was at SpaceX for a little bit, and then that didn't work out. So now I am back, and I'm currently in Houston looking at either Venus Aerospace, Axiom Space, or other manufacturing startups, if you know of any in Houston. I'm Daniel Reisinger.
Thank you, Daniel. Miguel.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Miguel Castillo. I'm looking for a VP finance or a CFO, depending on the size of company. Need contacts this week at Caterpillar in McKesson, and I have contacts at American Airlines where I can help you. My name is Miguel Castillo.
Thank you. Anthony.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anthony Archery, Senior Retail Operation Merchandiser. Also, I'm a panelist on the Pit Crew. I do have contacts at Walmart and Salad British Supplies, Anthony Archery.
Thank you. William.
Good morning, everybody. My name is William McLaughlin, currently seeking a business analyst role. Target companies include Cinemark and Dave & Buster's. I would suggest for everyone that doesn't have target companies, start getting a list together, especially with the big job fair that is coming up on August the 6th at the Ranger Stadium in Arlington. Again, my name is William McLaughlin. Thank you very much, and happy 4th of July.
Thank you. Doug.
Hi, I'm Doug Maxson. I'm looking for opportunities in cybersecurity, either third-party risk manager or cybersecurity awareness and training. I need contacts at Lockheed Martin. I have contacts at Raytheon. My name is Doug Maxson.
Thank you. Sheldon.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Sheldon Weinstein. I help food and beverage brands win at retail, and I built my career leading customer sales teams in partnership with national and regional retailers or grocery retailers. And I've done that at both large global matrix organizations as well as private equity groups where I've had to build the playbook from scratch. And I'm seeking a director to VP level sales leadership role at small to mid-sized food companies in the $200 million to $2 billion range. Again, Sheldon Weinstein.
Thank you. Ethan.
Hello, I am Ethan Hawley. I'm a recent college graduate with a bachelor's in IT. I was also a recent Scrum Master for a mobile app development team for a nonprofit, and I'm just looking for any kind of technical role, whether that's technical business analyst, project coordination, or software development.
All right. Thank you, Ethan. Kurt.
Hi, Kurt Schaffenberg, Senior Systems Developer and Analyst, former multinational, multi-continent coder, and former rock and roll refugee. I'm looking for part-time employment of any sort and any type, trying to stay away from the gig economy, but anything else is good. My name's Kurt Schaffenberg.
Thank you. Anybody else online who haven't called on yet? Anyone else? Going?
I'm here. It's
Oh,
Rosina.
go ahead.
So my name is Rosina Gallman, and I'm your Career Tip of the Week host. So I'll be back shortly. I'm looking for a position as a Senior Talent Acquisition Business Partner, Senior Recruiter, HR Generalist, or HR Specialist position. I don't need contacts this week, and I have contacts at a variety of different companies. So as we connect, feel free to let me know who you might be interested in being introduced to. Again, Rosina Gallman, Senior Talent Acquisition Business Partner, Senior Recruiter, HR Generalist, or HR Specialist position. Thanks so much.
Thank you. All right, go ahead. Okay. Okay, Dave and Buster contact coming up shortly. Just check your chat. All right. Okay, anybody else online haven't called on yet?
Hey, Jeff, real quick, what is the name of the lady who's in the audience? She said that she was looking for a Saffron contact. I didn't catch her name because she said it really fast.
Saffron? Alejandra.
Alejandra, what's her last name?
Durant. Duran.
Durant. All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, time for the Interview Success Workshop. Good morning, Walt.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's good to see you here today. Happy Friday. Yes, my name is Walt Glass, and I love helping people in their job search through the interviewing process. So why did I choose interviewing? It's because everything leads to the interview. We have a phrase sometimes you'll hear people say, it's not the best person for the job, it's the best interviewer that gets the job. And so if we can't do a good job of selling ourselves and presenting ourselves in an interview, then we can't do it at work either, because it is an assessment. It's a risk assessment. It is a demonstration. It's an audition to show that. So how do we do that? How can we do that and be different? Well, interviewing has its own game. It's not really a game, but it has its own approach, its own way we can handle things. And so when I look back after 25 years with a company and trying to figure out what I was going to do next and go through the same things that you've been through, and I've had a couple of jobs since then and had to go through interviews and things. But I said, what is it about interviewing that I don't see? I came to the pit crew, I looked, I said, man, it's great. I love the pit crew. So I'm a panelist on the pit crew. But there's still something that I think we need to pay attention to. That's just the fundamentals of selling ourselves, not just responding, but in selling. And so, by the way, a little interjection, I'm going to give a topic on Monday at 2:00 at Career Care for Bill Brewer's group. Look it up on the calendar if you want to, stop in and see that. And it's a lot about what the workshop is about. But the idea is we are selling ourselves. And so that's who we are, what we do, and how we help. How do we sell that? We have to sell it in a resume. We have to sell it everywhere. But we don't really, not very familiar with doing that. And sometimes we don't feel confident in feeling like we're bragging or saying something. Well, now's the time to show our skills, our abilities, and how we can make a difference in the company. So I'd like you to have you register and schedule the workshop. I do it on Tuesdays from 9 to 11 Central Time on Zoom. I have 2 candidates, max. I'll give you the 12 categories of questions, sample questions in the chat window, and you interview each other, and I take notes. And I will video that session, so you'll get a video for that. And then we'll discuss that. So the first hour is videos, and the second hour is discussion and review. Options, strategies, ideas, suggestions, how we might respond to that category of questions. So I'll be glad to have you participate. My About section in LinkedIn gives you all the details. My Yahoo email address and my phone number are on my banner page, so it's easy for you to reach me. Be glad to have you participate. So about landings, if you go to the job description, there's a required section. And so landing, the required section says, can you bring treats when you land? The preferred section says Krispy Kreme donuts. All right. And so if you bring Krispy Kreme donuts, you get extra credit. And so, and I thank Amy for coming in person today just to bring the donuts in. Thanks, Amy, and congratulations. Well done. All right. I also teach pausing before you speak. And so I'm practicing that now as a part of this. I love giving reviews about selling in job interviews. Give the workshop a turn. Come participate and learn. Win the job, and we can have Krispy Kreme as we choose. My name's Walt Glass.
Thank you very much. All right, let me talk about the pit crew for just a second. The Dallas pit crew, they meet every Wednesday from 1 to 3 o'clock right here in this room. They're in person on the first, second, third, and fifth Wednesdays of the month. On the fourth Wednesday of the month, they meet online only like they did this past week. It's a great way to watch somebody else be interviewed. You'll learn just as much by being interviewed as participating and watching somebody else be interviewed. It's a lot less pressure watching somebody else, but you still learn some really great skills. They like to say, practice early, practice often. You can do it more than once. I think the record's 8 or 9 times for somebody to be interviewed. So it's a great way to practice, because when somebody calls you on the phone, then it's all you. Your resume got the hook, got them to call you. Now you've got to be able to talk about it. So check out Practice Interview Team every Wednesday from 1 to 3. Oh, and there's no pit crew coming up this Wednesday. Thank you for reminding me. I think I took it off the calendar. I didn't take it off my slide deck here. So no pit crew this coming Wednesday. All right, time for the career tip of the week. Good morning, Rosina.
Good morning, Jeff, and good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. All right, give me 1 second. Okay, so this week's tip of the week was donated to me by Nikki Duncan. So thank you, Nikki, for the article for this week. All right, so it is about uh using LinkedIn for using LinkedIn or let me just start with the title. Backup to Breakthrough, the hidden power of your LinkedIn data download and 10 prompts to unlock your LinkedIn. So with that said, this is article is the author is Kevin D. Turner. He's an executive LinkedIn discoverability strategist, personal branding, and outplacement partner, as well as a keynote speaker. If I can speak today. And so I also included his LinkedIn profile in the article. But basically, we're going to look at, I'm just going to basically give the executive summary because when I pulled this article and put everything together in the summary, it's about 20 pages. So, like I said, this is just a quick summary. All right. So most professionals download their LinkedIn data as a passive, fear-based insurance policy against losing access to the platform. This article reframes that download from a static archive into a dynamic source of professional intelligence. By treating the data export as a mirror of your professional habits, networking gaps, and hidden opportunities, you can use generative AI as an interpreter. This strategic shift transforms administrative clutter into into actionable insights for career growth, business development, and personal branding. So there's two parts to this article. First part, the tactical framework, extraction, and the protocol. So to leverage this data, you must extract the necessary files and maintain strict data privacy. So there's the step-by-step data extraction. So step one, you download the data archive, and basically you're going to navigate to the me icon. There's a lot of details in this. We're just going to say step one, download the complete data archive. Step two, export your profile PDF. And then the next part of that is the data privacy and cleanup protocol. You want to sanitize your files by reviewing and removing highly sensitive personal information before uploading documents to any AI platform. Second part of that or the next part of that is your session isolation. You want to instruct the AI at the beginning of the prompt sequence that all the uploaded data must be only used for the active session. And then the next part of that is data deletion. Upon completion, explicitly instruct the AI to delete the uploaded files or request the platform specific steps to purge the session data manually. So all of that is, like I said, part one, the tactical framework, which is extraction and protocol. Now, the second part of this article goes into the top 10 AI playbook prompts and use cases. So under each of these 10 prompts, each one is going to have an objective, the files that you need for that specific objective, and then the key outputs for the objective. So I'm just going to cover these real quick. So once the data is extracted, you want to feed the relevant files into an AI using these specialized prompts to decode your patterns. So the first one, network power audit. The objective is to map network density, hidden pockets of influence, and structural vulnerabilities. Like I said, the different files that are needed, I'm just going to give this as an example. You're going to need your connections, messages, invitations, positions, profile, company or member follows, groups, events, recommendations, and endorsements. And then the key outputs, you're going to receive an executive summary of network health, a list of the top 25 re-engagement targets, and a categorized 30-day outreach strategy, such as career allies, referral sources, and dormant relationships. And that's all under the first prompt, network power audit. Second one, pipeline builder from existing relationships. The objective to that is to monetize and mobilize warm connections into active business development momentum. There's a list of files that are needed for that. And then the key outputs are a warm account list based on connection overlap, a 30-day relationship first pipeline strategy, and a non-traditional 3-touch outreach sequence. Third prompt, job search signal check. The objective, audit whether daily search behavior actually aligns with macro career goals. Like I said, a bunch of different files needed for that. And then the key outputs would be a direct, unvarnished look at what your data says that you are pursuing, an analysis of scattered versus focused behavior, and 5 critical shifts to improve interview conversion rates. Fourth prompt, relationship heat map. Objective, separate vanity metric connections or connection counts from the true relationship depth. Again, files needed for that. And then the key outputs, you'll get a network matrix categorization. So hot, warm, cold, and cool, scored by recency, frequency, reciprocity, and depth of conversion, alongside targeted revival steps. The fifth prompt, hidden advocates finder. The objective, uncover overlooked champions likely to provide referrals, recommendations, or introductions. The files needed for that. And then the key outputs would be a ranked list of your top 20 micro advocates, strategic distinctions on who to ask for introductions versus recommendations, and then customized outreach templates. Number 6, content to opportunity analyzer. The objective, evaluate the exact market signals your public activity sends to your target audience. The files listed for that. And then key outputs are an audit of what your current activity signals, a breakdown of opportunities that you might be accidentally repelling, and 10 customized content ideas paired with 5 engagement habits. 7th prompt, search intent decoder. The objective, decode search history to uncover true implicit professional priorities. The files that you need for that. And then key outputs are you'll get a behavioral intent profile identifying the exact keywords, roles, and sectors dominating your attention, paired with optimized search strings and filters for future use. The 8th prompt, profile proof gap audit. The objective, identify positioning gaps between your behavior, what your behavior indicates that you want, and what your profile actually proves. Files needed for that. And then key outputs, you're going to have a direct comparison of target opportunities versus visible proof, highlighting missing skills, weak phrasing, and exact structural profile audits by priority level. 9 is network conversion strategy. The objective, optimize the process of turning digital connections into offline meetings and interviews. The files needed for that. And then the key outputs are a diagnostic assessment, pinpointing exactly where your networking momentum stalls, a list of contacts to move to direct conversion, and a 4-week relationship conversion playbook. And the 10th prompt, Opportunity Blueprint Master Prompt. The objective, a holistic strategic readout that synthesizes profile, network, search, and content data into a singular master plan. The files needed for that is going to say all extracted files across all previous prompts. And then the key outputs, you're going to receive a comprehensive 30, 60, 90-day tactical playbook outlining greatest untapped leverage points, priority target accounts, the 20 people who can accelerate your next move, and definitive positioning adjustments. And then there's a bonus, number 11, technically. It's an optional add-on, and it's for a respectful contact recovery. You want to run this targeted subprompt to analyze your connections export, specifically for high-value contacts missing email addresses or telephone numbers. And it segments these accounts into actionable buckets, such as reconnect now, nurture first, research public profile, or research public route. And then it provides 3 short personalized direct message templates to safely request updated contact information. So all of this information is coming out of your personal LinkedIn profile. And again, the title for this article and tip of the week is Backup to Breakthrough, the hidden power of your LinkedIn data download and 10 prompts to unlock your LinkedIn. I hope everybody finds a lot of resources in this article to try, and I will also add the link directly into the chat. Even though the article and all the details are coming out tomorrow with Jeff, I'll go ahead and add the article link in at the end of the session. But just make sure you save it out of the chat. All right, everybody, have a fantastic weekend and holiday if we don't see you again. All right, take care.
Rosina, thank you very much. All right, today for lunch, we're going to go to Jason's Deli, 4801 West Parker Road. It's on the northeast corner of Parker and Preston. So come join us today for lunch at 11:45. If you want to receive today's materials, you'll get a copy of the speaker's presentation, a link to the YouTube video that'll be uploaded of this presentation. You'll get a copy of the career tip that Rosina just read and get a copy of the Zoom chat window. I'll get all that out to you tomorrow for everybody who's here in person. As long as you've checked your name off on the roster, or if you're brand new, fill out the little slip of paper. And if it's legible, I will get you added to the contact list tomorrow. For everybody who's online, please make sure you get your your email address in the chat window. That way I can make sure to get you added to our roster. Here are some people we had 3 people last week who joined us with no last name and or email address. So I haven't been able to add any of these people to the roster. They're on the roster, but they're not getting any emails. So if you're one of these people on the list, please reach out to me so we can get that fixed. All right. I want to thank Nikki. Nikki's been booking all of our speakers for us. And so she's, for the second time, booked herself. And today's going to be talking about accountability groups with Nikki, Paul Husar, and Todd Haney. So I'll turn it over to you all. I'll let you just all pass this
Okay.
around.
I'm going to pass the mic. Look, I'm going to let you guys introduce yourself while I set up the slides.
Hello, I'm Paul Husar. That's H-U-S-A-R. I'm pretty much retired. So glad to be here. Looking forward to talking about accountability groups.
Hi, I'm Todd Haney again, consummate job seeker. I'm here to help out. I've been working on this this idea of accountability groups and how people can become less fearful of them. And Nikki asked me to join. And last but not least, the woman in pink.
And I am Nikki Duncan, creator of the Calm Reset, which if you were here 2 weeks ago, I presented for job seekers. I help people classify their chaos, align their priorities, limit decision fatigue, and move with rhythm. I am Nikki Duncan. All right. I stole this idea from Todd. It was his fault. So we're going to talk about how accountability groups work, recommended structures, purpose, and norms. And it's open to questions. So if you have a question, in the room, just ask. And Jeff, if you can watch, because I can't see my screen from here, that'd be awesome. And maybe. There we go. And if you like the Bob Ross paintings, Todd commented on them this morning. My daughter painted those on her bedroom door. She actually painted those on her bedroom door. So see, when you try to teach your children to follow rules, sometimes you can't actually hold them accountable. But sometimes you have to give in. So I have 3 really cool paintings that she did on her bedroom door because she got bored one night. Following Bob, she had her phone in one hand and she's just happily painting on her door. She's crazy. Whatever. So, accountability groups, how they work. You go, Todd.
Well, because we've got some impact with people in here as well as online, I'm just going to be able to say, is anybody in here currently an accountability group? Okay, two folks. David's in one of my accountability groups. Okay, and those people online, I'm sorry I can't see you, but feel free to let Jeff know any questions or insights. I've been in 3 accountability groups. Right now, I'm currently in 2. I was in one last year, and they disbanded because they all found jobs. So I'm lucky for some folks. Here's why I wish Tim Farrell were here, because Tim often talks about what are they worth? Oh, why should I do it? Well, it's good for you, quite frankly, to commiserate. You don't need to lay some of this grief on your spouse, and it's not always grief. This is a journey, but you need to be able to talk about what's out there. My wife I'm a former teacher. She's a current teacher, and she can retire now, and she wants to, but she's talking about she brought this up in March, and so I said, have you seen me lately? You know what I'm doing? I'm out there all the time. This is not a thing you can quickly do. So we're starting to commiserate more, but you need to be around people who understand what you're going through. And along with that theory about helping one person every day, you need to be able to help. You need to get outside of your whatever you're going through. You need to work with other folks and feel like other people are in the same boat. They may be in a different industry looking for a different position, maybe a different age group, but it's still, you're helping them and they're helping you by being able to share experiences. Now, what a lot of people get intimidated by is, well, sharing a little bit of vulnerability and maybe a little bit of pain, but also not wanting to get with people who maybe are so different from them, or maybe they're really, really introverts. I'm one as well, and it's hard to get out. Part of what Walt talks about, well, all of what Walt talks about is selling yourself. You've got to be able to get along with people and activate that, little used social nerve that you have in order to engage with others and practice that. While you're on the job hunt, you are not in front of as many people as you once were. So, as Nikki has on the slide, peer support is huge. Also, I have found I am on top of things, but I'm not on top of everything. I have been my fellow job seekers have let me know about stuff that's going on with job fairs or contacts, may not even be in their area. So it's been very helpful for me. I feel like I'm Johnny on the spot. but I'm not. So that's been incredibly helpful. It's also they can help your fellow members can talk about your vulnerabilities. Once they get to know you, you develop a comfort level. You can say, "Hey, I think you need to work on this," or "Hey, you may want to consider this." So those are all key areas I just thought I'd mention. Anybody, Amy or David, y'all have anything you want to add before I pass it over to HUSAR? Larry.
That's everyone else out there.
We're going to play Phil Donahue.
Yeah, I don't have a Paul Husar voice, particularly for guys. You're my golf buddies that go, "What's the deal? You've been out 60 days. Why don't you have a job yet?" The world has changed and they don't understand. And as Todd is talking about, we all understand what's going on here.
I'll say one other thing before I pass it to the voice. I'm going to just speak from what I know. Men are terrible about keeping friendships and cultivating friendships and relationships. And so socially, we're not as good as women at sharing things. And so this is good practice, and we need a little nurturing now and then. So men in particular, I would argue, need that sense of fellowship. Paul?
Thank you, Todd. Boy, you opened a lot of doors there. Let me start with the support function of an accountability group. This is a very difficult process, as we all know. You lose your job, you lose a lot of yourself. There's a lot of feelings associated with that, some anger, sadness. And you can't take that with you to the process. You've got to leave that behind. But you need some place to get some support on that. And the accountability group is an excellent place to express that and to share it with other people. If you're in the right accountability group, you're going to make friends for life. You're going to know really great people, and they'll pull you along and you'll pull them along. The accountability group offers that honest feedback. When you're struggling and you're maybe not on the right track, they can give you advice to bring you back and keep you committed and held accountable for the next steps. So you're always moving forward and you're not falling behind. It's important to find an accountability group with people who you can have that relationship with, who you can share with and open up with, and get along with. I was in one accountability group where we were considering a new member who was a very quiet person. That was not our accountability group, so we declined the request for that person to join because they would not have fit in at all, and it wouldn't have helped them to be in that situation. So that's an important part is to, I think, know your leader, know that the leader is committed to the group, has a process, makes sure everyone's engaged and has the opportunity to participate fully at every meeting, and also to know how you're going to choose new members and allow new members in, because again, that compatibility component is important, and it will contribute a great deal to your success. Nikki?
I'm not really sure what to add to that on how they work. I can say that the accountability group I am in, we don't really use it for accountability anymore. Now it's just like a fun social club. This guy right here is one of them. We joke that we are HR's worst nightmare because we get to absolutely be ourselves. We always make sure we are not being recorded and transcribed. You never know what's coming out of our mouths. But we absolutely held each other accountability in the search. Paul, what are you doing this week? Now, this is my goal for the week. And then the next week, Paul, did you do that? How did that go? What do I need to follow up, tweak, and all of that? We absolutely did that for each other. But also when life did as it does and gets in the way, and certain people and we all had our turn at it, we still do, are not able to show up for a week or two or 3 or 4 or whatever, we are understanding of that, and there's no drama. It's like, I'm sorry you can't be here. Let us know what we can do to help you. And we are still there and support each other. And I think that going back to the conversation about the support and having somebody to help you lift you up, you need that support. And for me, it's not letting somebody disappear when life gets in the way of the job hunt, as it so easily can. Anything else on how they work?
Well, there's 2 comments on the chat window I want to mention. Kurt says people know that things have changed. They were just being adversarial and combative. Expect this and you won't be disappointed. And then another comment came, I've decided to stop sharing my job hunting progress with too many others. It opens me up to judgment and more stress than I need.
Great insights. Yes, I understand. Kurt, thank you. Yeah, I think in this day and time when you've got mixed messages in the media and people who have jobs, they don't get it. So you just got to keep moving forward. I will say one of the things we didn't talk about is mentioned there on the slide is about how you track your goals. So some groups have a tracking sheet, and there's a variety out there. So somebody will write down, okay, what have you done this week? What are you planning to do next week? And then with the following week, you go through that. I have one group that does that. I have another group where it's a little bit more of a social group, but we do go through these things. But it's become more like, life has gotten in the way, and we're commiserating and we're building each other up when we're just not motivation. You go at this journey for several months, a year or more, you can get discouraged, and it's finding motivation is tough. So you need people to sort of point you in the right direction. This should not be a burden. This should be something you're looking forward to. We'll go over this maybe next, but I think a lot of people probably online are going, how do I do this? How do I get this together? And I do want to talk about that. But before I pivot to that, I want to talk about some of the goals that we've talked about in our groups, and that may be, I'm going to apply to 5 roles next week. That may be a bit much for some. I'm going to reach out to 3 contacts. Henry Jordan at South Lake Focus Group would say, no, that's not, you're not being ambitious enough. 15. I'm not Henry. I'm going to update a couple of resume sections. I'm going to practice interview responses. I'm going to come up with 2 star stories. All these things are little baby steps that help you move forward, and your group can help you out with it if you need to. So do either of you have anything to add to that?
It's important to have a structure to identify what you want each person to accomplish each meeting, and it's extremely important to make sure that everyone has their time to talk about what they're doing and what they need, and where they are. I led one accountability group where I kept a list of what everyone's update was for that week and what they wanted to accomplish the next week. Then I'd send it out to everyone the day after. So we were constantly following up on our discussions, our actions, where we were. And sometimes people just said, hey, I need a break. It's too much. I need to step away. And that's actually a pretty good idea, looking back on on a lot of things. To take care of yourself first, to make sure you're ready to participate in that process. It's very important. So have a structure. There are templates out there, formats. Find the one that works for you and stick to it. Make sure everyone's aware of how it works so they can be prepared to participate effectively.
And Paul, what you just talked about, there was a comment in the chat. I've also had to take a break from the hunt in the first half of June due to family travel, high school graduation, etc. It makes me feel guilty that I had to put it by the wayside when I feel like everybody else is working 24/7.
Ooh, I want to take this one. I am a big proponent of taking care of yourself first. It's just like if you're on the airplane and the oxygen masks fall. What do they tell you? Put your mask on first. If you're not alive, if you're not at your best, then you have nothing to give anybody else. So whether it is family travel, which I think we all need a break, we have in our own accountability group, we have seen deaths in the family. We have seen, my own personal mother. I've got a mother going through cognitive decline and a death in the family and a move, and it's super stressful. And I've got another parent on the property that lives with us who's going through cognitive decline and all of the things that entails. I've got a daughter getting married, a daughter getting divorced. Like, these are all things that life throws at us. And when you're doing all of this and you're in job search and you're stressed out because you don't have the money and you need that paycheck and you need to be able to pay your bills, and everything just kind of becomes an and you feel like you are just getting more and more amped up and you're ready to just pop. Those are the moments when the right accountability group is your safe place. That accountability group, if you need to step back and say, I need to take some time, they're going to understand that. At the same time, that could be the time that you go into that accountability group, into that meeting, and you say, you know what, I didn't do anything this week and I'm not doing anything next week. I just need to be around you for the camaraderie. And the right accountability group is going to allow for that. But they're going to give you that space, and then they're gently, after a few weeks, when things seem to have leveled out for you, they're going to say, okay, Paul, it's time to get back to work. Or Todd, it's, time for you to get back on the track a little bit, and just with those baby steps. And how can I help you do that? But feeling guilty for stepping back and taking time you should not feel guilty. I have a daughter that is, she's always apologizing to me for everything. And I can't tell you how often I hear myself telling her, stop apologizing. You have to do what's right for you. And I mean, she's an adult, so I can't, whatever. I'm like, you're a grown adult. You've got to do what's right for you. And if it's not right for me, then that's fine. But don't apologize for doing what you need to do to take care of you first.
Whoever said that, we are kindred spirits. I understand that very much. Just pounding it 7 days a week. You got a goal and you got to get it, and you got to go after it. I get that. Until I realized what I was doing to myself. You can't put that kind of pressure on yourself. It's funny because we put more pressure on ourselves than our families do, our friends, even our colleagues, our subordinates. They all look at us and they're amazed at some of the things we can do, but they would never ask us to do what we're doing to ourselves. So take the break. Take the break.
Yes, Larry, I'll come to you.
So I agree with everything you said, but I want to take the opposite position. Okay? Yes. Where do you want me?
I want you to
Start here. Okay. Devil's advocate. I concur 1,000%. However, there's also times where we procrastinate. We don't want to do things, and your accountability group's going to hold you accountable. Okay. Larry, you said you're going to do these things last week. You didn't do them. Why? Well, it's been 2 or 3 weeks. Why? It's hard. We don't want to be doing this. So it's important the accountability group also does hold you accountable. So I'm not saying don't take care of yourself, but that's part of it too. We all have to go back to work.
Yes. There is a difference between procrastination because I don't want to, or I'm an introvert and it's uncomfortable, which, I had that in the beginning too. It was miserably uncomfortable for me to get out and do anything. I've had to learn and practice and work to do this kind of stuff right here. There is a difference. And even when in our accountability group, the things that hit our group, and it was tough. There was some really bad stuff that hit our group. And even in that, when, if Matt and I would meet, or Paul and I would meet, or Matt and Paul would meet, or, any one of the three of us would meet without the other one, when Paul and I would be in our meeting together and our third was missing, we would send him a group text. How you doing today? What are you doing? Are you, what can we do for you? Checking in and not letting him, to Larry's point, not letting him disappear and keeping him keeping him in it and moving and going.
Okay, so now I want to talk about what a lot of people have come to me about, and how do I do this? So I've talked with a number of organizations, and what's the best way to do it is organically, which means you naturally coalesce around people and say, we're a good fit when we do it. That often does not happen naturally. Oftentimes you've got to almost be in the market. So it may be that when you're up wherever you are talking about job leads, you may also want to present yourself. Hey, I'm looking for an accountability group to join, or maybe you've lost people in your accountability group. We need one more person. This is what we're looking for. But you have to sort of articulate what you're looking for, and I'll get to that in a second. I'm going to see if I can bug Amy here. I'm going to come over to you. Amy, can you tell me how you joined your accountability group? Were you invited?
Yes, I was invited. So everybody here knows Sally Benix. She's been a longtime friend of mine. So when I think we got laid off around the same time, she reached out to me. I came to this meeting and she's like, hey, I've got a group. So she invited me. I mean, I didn't have to search. I really wasn't looking for one. I'd never been a part of an accountability group, but Sally's great.
Was it helpful to you?
It has been helpful. Yeah. I mean, I haven't been able to attend all the time. So I haven't been one of those every week kind of persons, but I did show up this morning and no one else was here. It's like, sorry guys, but yeah, it's been very,
in your group.
We've got Sally, Eric. We've got about 5 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. David, I'm coming to you. Does anybody else want to share? All right, David. I know how you got it in your group.
Yeah. So hi, everybody. David Turner here. And as Todd said, I'm in one of his groups. I'd been wondering about how to do this thing for quite a while. I've been a job search for about 2 years now. I got kind of sucked into a group. At one point, I was at a networking table at South Lake, and Henry Jordan says, hey, everybody needs to have accountability groups. And so all the folks at that table said, okay, we'll be a group. So I said, okay. It was not a good fit. Somebody in it was mostly interested in religious evangelizing. That's not my thing. So I got out. So I would say, if it's not your thing, get out. It's okay if you're not a good fit. Paul said his group is a loud group, and I know Paul and somebody else in that group very well. And as much as I love them, they would drive me crazy, and I would just sit there and I'd probably just hide in the corner. So if it's not a good fit, it's fine. Just go ahead and get out. But I am glad. I appreciate you inviting me to join your group, Todd. I am an introvert, so being invited like that was great. And I appreciate your friendship as well, because I probably haven't had a male friend in 40 years.
Oh,
so.
Thank you.
Can I go?
Yeah.
So the first one I was invited to. The second one I put together because I started hearing people targeting the same companies I was targeting. And we're all in the IT business. I sold software before I retired. And what we discovered is we were targeting the same companies, but we weren't competing for the same roles. So I hear Topgolf, I hear McKesson, I hear Toyota. Get with those people because you're all going to gather information about the companies. I heard this, I'm in sales, you're in accounting, you're in HR. You can share that information. I heard they're looking for this, this, and that. So it's just another way to put it together.
Thank you, Larry. You're taking me to where I want to go next. Yeah. Yeah.
Move on to yes. Start your own group.
Yeah.
Start your own group. Be the leader. Find the people that you want to put together and take control.
Yeah. Absolutely right. As David talked about, and there's another story I know about recently that it wasn't a good fit, and some person didn't know how to extricate themselves from it. You don't have to be too honest, but just say, hey, I'm not, it's me, it's not you guys. It's not working. So I'm going to back off a little bit and I've got to figure out what I'm doing with my job. You don't have to go into all the details, but I think it's important that you don't let one attempt and it didn't work out hold you back. Find connections. And one of the things people sort of connect around shared interests, whether that's the same industry, whether that's the same age, the same situation, just personalities. Most of mine, or all of mine, have been all different industries, all different age groups. And it had been great, but that doesn't work for everybody. If you have if you're all in IT, like Larry was talking about, healthcare is one that you could network there. Education, God bless you, if you want to be in there. But crossing the industry groups, you get a better perspective. I found that's been my experience. And then if some people may be good at certain skills like interviewing, or I'm not great at interviewing, so I love hearing about some ways that I can twist a phrase that say overcome stuff. Walt's great with coming up with ways to deal with a question or whatever, excuse me, while I go to the ground. I talked to other people in this sort of research thing and found out that, people we know this. I'm going to try not to bury the lead. People can be crazy. We know this. They have certain expectations. I've written down some of them because when I was doing, but said, I want only get with people who are bilingual, or what was this other one? I didn't bring my glasses. Dumb me. Well, I'm hanging my sunglasses on my shirt. I was in a hurry this morning.
Have mine on.
Yeah, watch you. This is embarrassing, really.
Am I reading this?
Just whatever the check one. So I had one.
Must like, oh, for crying.
Well, you don't have to use that one.
That one's crazy though.
But that's what I'm getting at. Yeah, somebody won the group and said, I got to be the leader. I want to be the leader.
Say it, but I really want to say it.
Must like cats and let me be the leader. And hang on while I have the mic. To David's point that, our accountability group would drive him crazy because we're a little rowdy. You know what? A good accountability partner will see that, and still a good accountability group is going to see that diversity in our personalities. And we're going to be able to work with you, and we'll be able to tone ourselves down and help bring you up and meet you. That's another thing that a really great accountability group would do that. Yeah, we're loud and crazy, but we're not always loud and crazy. We can read the room. And when it calls for moments of calm, we can be calm and, whatever. So that's something else to look for, is how well somebody can, read the room.
But the biggest thing is you don't want clones of yourself. You want to be able to work with people who are different than you, because that's the way life is and that's the way jobs are. And I'm amazed that I've met 40 and 50-year-olds who don't get that. You don't be that person. I don't think any of you are, but I've been surprised by some of the responses I have gotten. We've moved slides here, and so I'm going to talk about in general how they're set up. Nikki has 4 to 8 participants. We've talked about this before, and we have various feelings about it. I would say personally, no more than 6. I've had 6 people before, and one person never shows up. Currently, I have 5 in one of my groups, and one person does not show up. That's fine if you're flexible, but I'm aware of some groups because somebody was so rigid that they wanted to kick the person out because they didn't show up regularly. Well, have a heart, figure some things out here. I think they work best when it's weekly. And you and your group have to come up with some cadence of what works for you. Not the least of which is, what form do you want to use? If we've got people from, I know Larry and Nikki, they do the online folks, and you've got people who are, well, they had coast to coast yesterday. So if you want to do online, great. Or if you're in different parts of DFW and you can't get, then Zoom or Teams or whatever your method is, your media, then maybe you can find a group that prefers that. That could be the, I'm much more relaxed and much more comfortable with people when I can be in person, but that's not always doable for everybody. Everybody's got other stuff. So figure out what's best for you and your group. In terms of time frame, I would say one of the reasons I'm saying keep it to 5 or 6 is because you've got limited time and everyone needs to share. So if you have more than that, you're going to be pushing the 2-hour mark, and nobody's got time for that. So I think if you can keep it to about 60 minutes with the understanding that things may go long as 90 minutes, I think that's more preferable and something that people can use, whether it's online or in person. But keep to the schedule. That's very important because that's showing respect, mutual respect for everybody. Anything to add? Anything to add?
I think Todd's right. I also think it's funny that as an introvert, you find it easier to be in person. Is it because it's a small group and you've gotten to know them well? See, that's how I started as an introvert. It had to be a small group. Walking into a room, I mean, this room wasn't too bad because, it's not, 50 people, but walking into Frisco Connect, the first few times I went in there, I literally would walk in, find the closest chair in the back of the room and just sit down. And if anybody wanted to talk to me, they could come up and talk to me. I had such a hard time putting myself out in front of people. And there are some great people at Frisco Connect that kind of helped pull me out.
Let me add one thing. This was years ago. There were 2 people and they were both in accounting and they were accountability partners together in a group. And their group was only accounting people. And the reason they liked it was when they saw a job, even if it wasn't particularly for them, they would refer to one of the other accounting people in their group, or when they would go on an interview and 2 of the 3 of people in the group had the same interview at the same company, they would call the other ones up. Hey, this is what they were asking me, so they could prep each other because they didn't care who got the job as long as one of them got the accounting job over somebody who wasn't participating.
That's very giving
Yeah.
to be able to do that. Yeah. They can give you better insights. Maybe you get in the company later on.
I would say that even within those groups where it's all accounting or all IT, like Larry talked about, or all teachers or whatever, even within those groups, you're not all the same person. And so you still need to learn to play to each other's differences and bring out those differences and things that make you unique, because that's going to be what helps you identify, to Jeff's point with the accounting group, oh, hey, these are the questions they asked today. I really bombed this one, but Larry, you'll really kill this one, or, whatever. So you get to know each other's strengths that way too. Do you not want it back?
No, it's fine.
I do keep handing it to you, don't I?
You do. It's a little like a game show host here. Are there any questions or comments online?
Nothing.
No. Oh, they can't save me. Okay. So I did want to go over we have something that I put together after a lot of input that Jeff will probably be sharing with you guys after this is over. So I don't worry about taking notes for all this vital information we're giving you. I do want to go over a few things. So some of the next slide is on norms, I think. Well, we kind of did, but I want to go over a few things. I talked about attending regularly. Come prepared. Bring some, just don't, this is the new joke I heard. Want to hear it, but also tell us what's going on, or if things didn't work this week, share, be vulnerable. That's what this is all about. Try to set specific goals. If you don't achieve the goals, if you're not achieving the goals on a regular basis, you need to dial it up a bit. As Larry said, procrastination is not what this is about, to give you approval to procrastinate. offer constructive feedback. You're not tearing each other down. You are trying to help each other, or maybe get them to swerve in a direction where you see strengths that they may not have realized or not acknowledging. How many, think of your strengths, if you've done Strengths Finder, that's tremendously helpful. I was a little dubious about that, and I had mine done a few years ago. Nikki just said, I can't believe you're an introvert, but that I am very one-on-one. I will share with you my deepest secrets if you get comfortable. But in a group, I'm a wallflower. So, and that says it in the Strengths Finder. So I've got to build to those strengths. That's in building relationships. You know, yeah, that's what I do. So they got that one right. But offering feedback is important, and it's good for you to practice this while you're in an accountability group, not in a job right now, and getting advice from others. Maintain confidentiality. Not that anybody is going to be interested in what Paul has to do, but if you hear a great story or Paul is being vulnerable, keep it to yourself. I say this is obvious, but you know, I have currently a teenager at home, and that ain't always obvious to her, and I don't think it's always obvious to some adults. But you know, just keep that in mind. Finally, well, not finally, but this is one last point I want to hit. Nobody is just like one another. Respect diverse backgrounds. If somebody practices different religion or believes differently, please don't bring politics into the mix. We're cursed with that enough these days. Your feelings are your feelings, and what you stand by. I 100% agree. If it's something that it makes you uncomfortable, and some people, the way they present themselves does make me uncomfortable. Maybe that's not the group for you. Find another group. But you need to figure out a way to connect with people without going those hot topics. So a lot of people don't want to talk about sports. I'm not a big sports guy, but a lot of people, like men in particular, like giving one another a hard time. One's an Aggie, one's UT. And that's their way of bonding. It's weird, but that's kind of the way people do things. So if you can find a way to do that, to rib each other, great. That's another way you're helping each other out. Paul?
Did he sit in on one of our meetings?
I feel like he was right there, like watching somewhere.
You're weird, that's it.
No, all great advice, especially about being open. That's so important. The more open you are with this group, the more you're going to get out of it. And again, a good leader will make sure that people are being treated properly, and the topics are on point. Find ways to bond, and you can do that through common interests. Secrets, I'm an old soldier. If I tell you some of my secrets, I'd have to kill you. Yeah, I agree with everything you said.
Yeah. It really is like you should have been in our accountability group, Todd. My gosh. Yeah, and I don't really know what to add. I mean, gosh.
Well, that's it. We're done.
Questions about accountability groups? Larry, I know, has stories about accountability groups. Hang on, I'm coming. This is why I wear tennis shoes, not heels.
So I'm going to use a word that we don't typically use, which is selfish. I think you need to be selfish. You need to look in the mirror and ask yourself, what do you need out of this? Because at the end of the day, this is about you and moving your path forward. We had a gentleman in one of my groups, he talked about introverted. He would go to networking meetings and would not talk to anybody. And he used us, and we gave him homework assignments. If he went to a meeting, he had to bring us back 2 business cards. That's what he wanted from us, to do that. He would do it for us, not for him. So understand everything we're saying, but at the end of the day, it's about you and what works for you.
Thank you, Nikki. This is Walt. If you don't want to go into an area where you think you can help somebody, an accountability group is not for you, because this is focusing on them. The good news is we get help when we give help. And the more we give and the more we participate in that. So Genuine caring, genuine interest in the members of your group and in helping them is going to help you be more successful with that. Suspend judgment. No judging is allowed. Trying to stay away from the negativity. Yes, we can deal with life issues and things like that. Oh, but the main thing is getting together. I strongly recommend you meet in person. I think you're going to be a lot effective. I know it's difficult if people are out of town. So one of the suggestions I have, and in my history with working with accountability groups, is we would form a group out of people who come to the Friday Jeff Morris group. It was, hey, we're coming here anyway, so we're going to meet across the street at McDonald's in the morning before the group because we're going to be out anyway. We don't have to travel twice. We just come early. So find people in some of the groups that you go to that says, hey, we get together here anyway. So maybe that's one possibility for you to say, how would you find group? I would have a document that says, listen, here is our expectations from you if you join our group. This is some of our principles. This is some of the things we believe in. This is how we practice. This is what we go through. If you have somebody that's a person that may want to do that, say, here's just know how we do that. And come for one meeting. And then both can say, how does that work? Does it look like it's going to fit? And then, you can make a decision. I can remember one person in a group came every week. Every suggestion we made, oh, yeah, it's good. That's a great idea. Every week. Did you do any of them? No. Every week it was the same time. It was like, why are we even here? But every week we kept giving suggestions. We did not give up on that person. You keep giving suggestions. You keep trying to give help. So if you are one of those that says, hey, I will get help by giving help, but I got a lot of interest in helping people, then I strongly suggest jumping that accountability group.
Good morning. My name is Michael Warner. I'm known around town as the Friendly CPA. For those of you who are many-year alumni of this group, I was in this group when Jeff took over. That's how long I've been involved. I've also been in several accountability groups. Walt ran one of them. Larry and I were in one together for a long time. My key, I get a little frustrated. There has to be a balance. It's got to be fun to a degree, but it's an accountability group. It's not a social group. You can do that after the accountability meeting. The accountability group is responsible for helping, especially those who won't hold themselves accountable. They need help. And I got myself in trouble several times by trying to add a little too much help. But one of the things I did, I also coached job search for many years. Actually, my career was as a CPA in mergers and takeovers and stuff like that. But for the last 5 years, I've been teaching high school. It happened by accident. It happened by accident. Totally by accident. It happened because one of the coaching points I always stressed with the people I tried to help was go get a part-time job. Don't worry about how much you make. Get out of the house and mingle with people. There are job opportunities out there somewhere. Go find them. A couple of my people who I coached contacted me after I was Hank Haney's CFO when he decided to shut down his business. Hank Haney was Tiger Woods' golf coach many years ago. But so I helped him sell his business, and then I was looking and nothing was happening. And some of my own coaching students contacted me and said, are you following your own advice? I said, what is that? Go get a job. That's how I did my first substitute teaching job. Very quickly, the principals learn who can walk and chew gum at the same time, and they will be approaching you for long-term assignments. Plus, substitute teaching gives you ultimate flexibility to do a job search. You can work when you want. Doesn't pay great, but it's great
to get out and help the students. It's a crazy world out there, student wise, but I intended to work that first spring and continue looking for a job and find something by the end of summer. And that was 5 years ago. And I don't need to make a lot of money. I did well in my career. And so I love giving back through teaching. I teach special ed kids, and it's been great. Go do something though. Don't sit on the computer hammering away at job opportunities 100% of the time. Go out and mingle with people.
Paul's got something.
Yes, I think this is a very important topic. Many of you have probably heard of HOPE, help one person every day. I prefer Humpy, help many people every day. It's a way forward. Some people are not comfortable with it. I get that, but I always tell people, help whomever you can, whenever you can. I was interviewed for an alumni podcast recently, and they said, "What recommendation do you have for fellow grads?" And I always said, if someone contacts you, help them. Do whatever they need to help them move forward with whatever they're asking help for. Always help whoever you can.
Your accountability partners might need a copy of that podcast.
I don't really have anything to add. Michael, thank you for doing what you're doing in education. I have too much education PTSD to go back, but God bless you. Also worked for Haney. My name is Todd Haney. I wish I had his money. Related to him somehow, I wouldn't be here. Does anybody in the live action audience have any questions or comments that they wish to share? Anybody online?
If you're online, you can just unmute your mic and talk away.
I have a personal request. I hope you'll indulge me. Miss Barish from New Jersey. Do you know a Jamie Barish from Oyster Bay?
Not that I know of.
Okay, you never know. Had to ask.
You never know. Of course, can't hurt. Thanks.
Guy I went to high school with. Lives in Florida now. Super guy.
I'll tell you one other thing my accountability group helped me do. When my job search was not going the way I wanted it to go, and I instead decided, and I kept getting all of these short contract assignment jobs kinds of things. And I finally realized, maybe I should just go fractional and do my own thing and stop, quote, searching. My accountability group was so key and so good at helping me make sure I had my branding clear, my messaging clear, because they had gotten to know me and my strengths and my weaknesses and what I do and don't do well. And I think we spent almost one whole meeting, not the whole thing, because it is an accountability group and everybody does get a turn, but we spent a large chunk of one whole meeting just going through my website and do this and don't do that and no, change this and this doesn't play the way you want. And and it was like a no holds barred, them critiquing my website and branding and the things that I had put together to help make me stronger. And you have to be open, whether it is a resume, a LinkedIn profile, a website, a video resume, an interview answer that you want to give or whatever. You have to be open to that kind of feedback, and you might need to thicken your skin a little bit, and a good accountability group can help you do that. I was already pretty thick-skinned, so Anyone else? Any questions, comments?
Hey, Nikki, it's Rosina. Hey, I just want to let everybody know that so Walt had mentioned he's going to be presenting on Monday at 2:00 for the Career Care group out of St. Andrew's United Methodist Church with Bill Brewer, who is the host. With that said, so that session is at 2 o'clock, but yet they also have a separate accountability group for those that choose not to create their own accountability group, if that makes sense. And so it is an accountability group through St. Andrew's United Methodist Church. It is in person. The purpose is to help each other stay motivated, set and achieve search goals, and improve your search. The format, it's a small group discussion. There's no speakers or anything like that. They recently had 6 landings, and it's by invitation only. And so the email address is bill, SAUMC @gmail.com to get the invitation and all of the details of where to meet and what time and things like that. But I have put that in the chat as well. Bill, SAUMC @gmail.com. Email him and he'll give you all the information. But make sure you put that you're interested in the accountability group. All right, thank you.
All right, anybody else?
Yeah,
Comment?
just real quickly, I wanted to, several people, Walt and several of the other people made the point that one of the real key benefits of accountability groups is the ability to take our eyes off of ourself and start to focus on others' needs and how there is a dynamic there that it actually improves our self-image and helps us be better at what we're trying to do. So and one of the problems I've had in this job search is I've really gotten that I got to do this, I have to do this for this many hours, it's all I. And when I start thinking in terms of we, like my accountability group, that we are coming together to help each other and start to work on changing my attitude from, well, frankly, selfish to helping others, there's a real amazing dynamic that happens there. And I've had it before. I don't in this job search because I've not done the accountability, but this has really motivated me to get back into it because I've experienced the dynamic. And I think Walt expressed it best. It's just something that really will help us as we help others. We benefit from it. So that's just all what I just wanted to point that out.
Yes, absolutely. In order to help someone else, you really need to know what you're talking about. So it sharpens your skills in terms of the process and execution and makes you better at what you know you need to do as you're helping someone else.
Well, and what does they say? 2 heads are better than one. So how much better can 4 or 5 or 6 heads be in a group, right? If I'm sitting there and, to your point, Doug, if I'm sitting in my office at my computer and I am worrying about my search and what I'm looking for and how I am doing my resume, I am only as good as what's in my head or what I allow AI to tell me. But if I get on, whether it is the South Lake Focus Group's Thursday meeting where Larry is there and we are having conversations and we are giving comments and feedback and helping other people. Every time somebody else does their 10-second intro or talks about what they learned, or every piece of advice Larry gives, I learn something new. And my accountability group, when we meet, and throw ideas out there, we did it with Paul. Paul's like, I've got this one company, I'm targeting, this is what, I'm trying to do. And we would be brainstorming ideas to get in front of somebody else in that company, or I don't know, different ways. We did it with all 3 of us, really. We kind of took turns how to meet different people and how to approach that conversation. And people are going to help you think of things that you didn't think of on your own. So multiple heads. Anything up
Yeah, I
here
like that.
back there?
I like that because it's the 3 strands, the rope of 3 strands is not easily broken. That combined energy strengthens you all, so that helping others is a strong concept.
Okay, Mike Warner again here. I'm going to go back to the accountability group and the accountability issue and say that in most of the groups I was in, once Walt turned me on to the value of practice interviewing, that became my focus. I think practice interviewing is the most important resource available here in Dallas. You can do it face to face. I'm sure you're doing online things, but pushing people in any accountability group I've been in or any coaching I've done was the number one focus for me. If you're not practice interviewing, you're not being accountable to yourself. And most people they like practice interviewing about as much as they like public speaking. So you are doing somebody a huge service if you can convince them to go do practice interviews. I had several clients I was coaching and they said, as long as you don't make me do that practice interview thing. And I said, okay, well, let's get going. And about 3 weeks in, I'd say, okay, it's time to do your practice interview. No, I told you I wasn't going to do that. No, I'm not going to coach you anymore if you don't do the practice interview. 3 women in particular ended up doing it. And they said, wow, thank God that's over with. I says, oh, get on the schedule. 2 weeks from now, you're doing it again. And all of them did it at least 3 times. I recommend 3 to 5 times, and you're ready to interview. And all 3 of them have come back to me numerous times over the years and thanked me repeatedly for forcing them to go do practice interviews. So I think that's an integral part of a accountability group is the support you can give somebody to encourage them or push them to do a practice interview.
Yeah, I just wanted to reiterate and point out something that Paul brought up about how, and Nikki was talking about when they were taking things apart. If you've got Todd and Paul and I together, we're all going to come at it from different perspectives. I look at everything from a sales perspective. If I've got this right, Paul's probably looking at it from an ops perspective, close. Todd's going to look at it from an educational perspective, and Nikki's just going to create chaos out there for us. So again, we all come at it in different ways, and you're going to see things different ways. So, get those people to help you tear it apart because they'll see things you don't do.
I calm the chaos. And apparently chaos is such a big part of me. Larry was out golfing this yesterday. Larry was golfing Father's Day Sunday and found a golf ball on the golf course that said chaos, and he brought it to me this morning. Bringing order to chaos. See, and I do that. It's my thing. It's my whole shtick. But I'm known for chaos, whether I'm creating it in a fun way or calming it because it needs to be. Anything else?
I love the things I learn in my accountability group. And if I had $1 for every time I shared something Larry said, if you're trying to sell something, understand the problem your product solves and find people with that problem. Great advice. I've shared that with many people and find it very valuable.
Oh, you're running.
Oh.
Okay, this is a little pet peeve of mine. When I hear order to chaos, I hear you're bringing from order to chaos. And if you say chaos to order, then I say, well, same thing. So I would recommend you say, I bring order out of chaos. And so, or you calm or something like that. But I don't know if anybody listens like I do. Maybe I'm just the only person that thinks that way because I think in different ways. But every time I hear order to chaos, I said, you're taking order, you know what I mean.
I always order chaos on the side.
All right. Well, group, thank you very much. Thank you for the presentation. For everybody who's online, if you want to get a copy of, they've got a handout they've got, make sure that your email address is in the chat window so I can get that to you tomorrow along with the other data. Next week, we will not be having a meeting. It's July 3rd, So we will have no meeting next Friday. Have a safe and happy 4th of July weekend. This video will get uploaded to the Career USA YouTube channel. Click on playlist, and once you do, all videos go into one of 7 different playlists. And then in the lower left-hand corner, it says View Full Playlist. Click there, and I'll become a list of all the speakers we've had here at the North Dallas Group who've allowed us to record the presentation. Just remember that the speakers start about 30 minutes into any one of our videos. Next Tuesday, we've got a great speaker, Sherry Baudot. She was here a couple months ago and gave a great presentation. She's going to be doing our LinkedIn presentation this coming Tuesday. It's the 5th Tuesday of the month, and so because I only have 4 speakers, I had to come up with the 5th. So Sherry will be presenting LinkedIn for experienced professionals, how to stay visible, relevant, and competitive. So come join us for her presentation. The practice interview team will not be meeting on Wednesday, so they will not be having a meeting, and we will not be having a meeting on Friday. So have a safe and happy July 4th weekend. In 2 weeks, on July 10th, the next time we meet, we will do open forum. We'll talk about whatever questions you have about your job search. Bring them, and we will do that on July 10th. Today for lunch, how many people think they may join us for Jason's? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, whoever gets their table for 6 would be great. And everybody else, have a happy, safe July 4th. And thank you very much for joining us today, everybody. Have a great Friday and have a good weekend.
Have a good lunch.